What is going on, YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining myself and Genesita, aka Prophetic Fire Reiki, for this being my Hot Topic and Social Commentary live 8 p.m. show. A couple things I want you guys to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So why don't you go ahead and mash it for a brother? Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTubing streets. Prophetic Fire Reiki, how you doing tonight, gal?
Hello, peace and blessings. I'm doing well. You forgot to tell them to put the comments in there.
Oh, yes. And also leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the various topics we'll be discussing on tonight's show. Thank you so much for that, HR Jr. First things I want to do is announce a couple of the 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. We have a couple that we know of. Sade, the legendary Sade, will be inducted. Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross will be
As he should.
as he should. I don't know why it took
Should
so
have
long.
been.
Right. Wu-Tang Clan is going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as well as Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah will also be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I wanted to say, Gene Simmons said something about rap artists having no place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. When you see the inductees of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you know that it's just not rock and roll artists that get inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is more like a music thing overall, like any type of music that you make, produce, and release would make you eligible to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not just for rock and roll. Like if Michael Jackson gets inducted twice, what makes you think it's only for rock and roll people? That don't make no sense to me. But you know, hey, he's an
If
old
he
head.
wanted a whites only Hall of Fame, then he needs to open one.
Right, exactly. Open your own one. I mean, you legendary yourself, Gene Simmons. Anyways, so I'll go ahead and get the Trump news out the way because I know y'all don't want me to spend too much time on it, talk about it too much. But hey, Dustin. Dustin's in the comments.
That's Aaron D.
Oh, Aaron D. I'm sorry. Hey, Aaron.
You ain't looking.
So glad that you're here, Aaron. I'm sorry, Dustin's typically the first one to make a comment, but hey, Aaron, I'm so glad that you're here, boo. What's going on, Tyrone?
Tyrone is here. Up our vibrations. He made it.
He did. You are all bundled up like it's the wintertime, honey.
You know how like it's hot in the house, but if you directly in front of an air conditioning unit, it's freezing.
I get that. I really do get
So
that.
the air conditioning unit is like directly in front of my face right now. So
Okay. So, this past week, the Pope, Pope Leon, from Chicago, the first American chosen Pope for the Catholic Church, he had some things to say about the war going on in Iran. He said that God would not like this. God does not like people's lives being taken who are innocent. It makes no sense. It's not right. And Donald Trump, of course, had to come back and say that he was weak and da 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 da, blah 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 blah. The regular. Then JD Vance was at some type of turning point event in Atlanta that was the arena he was in was quite empty. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures or the video of the.
it was a turning point event that Erica supposed to be at.
Right, yeah, and I saw a camera shot of the entire arena, and it was quite empty, which actually surprised me. I was surprised, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised at that.
Well, they said it was at 25% capacity. Did you hear about why she didn't go?
No, I didn't hear that.
In a post that she put out, she says it's because of security reasons.
Wonder what those security reasons were specifically, but
Well, I don't know.
yeah, we don't know.
But though Erica Kirk is out here doing her thing, you can always trust. Though I have not totally invited Candace Owen into the African American fold or the Black American fold,
Right.
she is not like she ain't lying. She was basically saying the reason why you guys or you didn't show up is because of the low ticket sales of the events. Unfortunately for TPUSA, this isn't the only event that sold horribly,
Right.
and they canceled others. And she said it doesn't make sense, and this is exactly what I was thinking. But it's like if it's a security risk for you, why wouldn't it be a security risk for the vice president of the United States?
Right. And typically security risks have to do with a lot more people than expected showing up rather than not nearly as many people as you were expecting showing up. But
I
that's what I
think what
think of
she
when I
was
think
trying
of
to
security
imply
risk,
I think what she's trying to imply is that there's somebody else that's trying to do the same thing to herself. You know what I'm saying?
I
'Cause,
guess.
when you put yourself on the pedestal as if you are, the president's wife or something like that, you make it seem yeah, girl, ain't nobody trying to shoot, to be honest, and nobody's trying to get at her husband. I believe it was her and her cronies, her and her compadres
Her
trying to
cohorts, honey.
her cohorts of hell getting at them.
That's where they from. That's where they from. But anyways, JD Vance said that, when the Pope speaks on Catholicism and things of the Bible, he has to make sure that he's saying the right thing as if he said something wrong. I'm not picking up what JD Vance was putting down. But anyways, also in response to this, Donald Trump posted a AI picture sh- portraying him as Jesus Christ. He had the red sash on, he had lights coming out of his hands. There was someone in a hospital bed. He was placing his hand on his head, um, apparently healing him. I guess I don't know what this is. So Donald Trump was asked about it. He said, "Oh well, I took it down, but I thought it was a picture that was depicting me as a doctor, a doctor. I was supposed to be a doctor in that picture. There was no
Lies.
there was no stethoscope around his neck. There was no doctor's coat on him. I never seen a doctor wear a red type of covering scarf or sash like that. Like it's obvious what he was trying to do. Once again, Donald Trump knows how to try to rile up his people or the opposition rather, because he ain't doing it for his people. He's doing it for the opposition to get us mad.
Well,
Um,
them people been likening him to Jesus Christ. So
they
some
have.
those of course those are the more radical, the minority saying stuff like that. So when so many people, even people that are like MAGA is like, hold up now, you ain't Jesus now. This is blasphemy at this point. Like, come
Exactly.
on now. What we know is that you ain't out here healing the blind and stuff like that. You what? And they did that on purpose. I'm sure he had Chat DPT or something, make up the picture and he put it out. The only reason why he took it down is because of the bad reception of it.
Right. And then the other day, he posted another AI picture of him being embraced by Jesus Christ. For someone who's been on record in saying that he does not think he's going to heaven, I don't know where all this connection to Jesus is coming from whatsoever. It's confusing to me.
You know where it's coming from, Jonathan. You know
I'm,
exactly where it's coming from.
Well, I mean, when your base is typically evangelicals and the people who are, yeah, I get it, but it was ridiculous. Jennifer, what were your thoughts on all of that he did? Of course, there are quite a few MAGA people that are outraged by these things. Not to mention that hellish post that he posted on Easter Sunday. But what are your thoughts? Like, because I'm continuing to see headlines on CNN, MS Now, and all of these new channels that the MAGA base is crumbling. But they've said this for a long time. Like, is it ever going to happen? Like, it seems like it's happening little by little, but I don't know.
Well, I, it has happened,
Okay.
but the larger voices, which is literally the president, people that have power, their voice is going to be heard louder then a
Mm,
bunch of small voices that says, "I'm done with this. I'm through with this."
yeah, yeah,
So it has happened. The fracture is there. They're still, talking about it and all that stuff. But the whole uh the whole Jesus thing, let's be real, a person that's not truly a Christian that's going to say whatever and try to do whatever to appeal to those people. So
yeah.
it's none of it surprises me, Jonathan.
Absolutely. And then Paula White herself, his spiritual advisor, likened
Use that very loosely. I don't know what spirit she talking about.
right. She likened Donald Trump's convictions and guilty verdicts in his court cases and things that all the things that been going through. She likened that to what Jesus went through. And
Yeah, I liken that to saying whatever you need to say to get paid.
exactly. That
So
that she got her check.
exactly. Her
Anyways,
we
so
can only hope that she got her check. We know how he don't like to pay people.
well, not that I care whether
I
she
hope
got it
she's
or
doing
not.
this in a smart way.
Any comments before we move on, girl?
Unveiled Vibration says they ain't that outraged. You're right about that because a lot of people they try to hold on to what they 10 toes, held on to, but they're looking crazy at that stuff.
Hmm.
Good. Auntie Robin is here. Hey,
Good evening, Auntie Robin. So glad that you're here, boo.
she said good. Please excuse me.
Oh, a little tired.
Unveiled Vibration says I spoke about that spiritual advisor last night. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. It was
use
it,
that
it was something
real
else.
loosely.
Anyways, next on the docket we have influencer Ashlee Jenae. She was on a trip to Zanzibar. She was on a trip to Zanzibar with her fiance, whose name
What was the name of this person again? I need to do my Googles.
Ashlee Jenae. Ashley spelled with two E's, Ashlee. Jenae spelled Jenae. She was on a trip to Zanzibar with her fiance Joe McCann. Her death was considered that she took her own life. However, her family is now coming out saying that they've got some eyes raised for Mr. Joe McCann. Now, Joe McCann is a Caucasian man, and Miss Ashley is a Black woman. Not to say that race would have anything to do with him taking her life, if that's the case, but it makes your eyebrow raise a little bit when you see this type of situation and who the players are in this thing that's going on. He is being questioned by Zanzibar authorities at this time. So I'm not sure what's going to come about that. I don't know what the legal system is like in Zanzibar. I don't know if the U.S. will try to take on the case or whatever the case might be. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to pan out, but I have the slightest feeling that Mr. Joe might have had something to do with her death, allegedly. Because I don't know exactly how it is that she would have taken her life. I don't know exactly how the body was found. I wish all that information were more available. But child, I got my eyebrow raised. I'm looking at him sideways, but he looks so nice. Looks like such a nice white man, nice smile, and but her family is saying, he might have had something to do with that. Is it bad for us when these situations come about to have the mindset of thinking that because one might be one color and one might be the other would cause them to do something like this? Because black on black, relationship crimes happen all the time. But a lot of times, excuse me, a lot of times we don't see a lot of black women taking their own lives, which is I think is another reason why a lot of people have their eyebrow raised when it comes to this type of thing. So Jennifer, just based off of the information that I've given you so far, any thoughts in particular?
Yeah, absolutely. It's unfortunate, but when it comes to people of any other ethnicity, um, well, shoot, a lot of men, unfortunately, but I don't like to generalize, but seeing this, a black woman like myself automatically goes towards the thoughts of what did he do to her?
Exactly.
And just look at her. She's absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
And from what I could tell or from what I could see or imagine, I believe she found somebody that could fulfill the lifestyle that she wants.
Mm,
And, he's a multi-million dollar dude, but sometimes underneath the smile, underneath,
oof,
look at this. I'm not
mm.
saying that the way somebody looks can show you whether or not he's deceitful or has issues.
But that face
Yeah.
screams
It
villain to me.
yeah, and sometimes, unfortunately, um, we ignore the signs
Hmm. We do it all
when
the
our
time.
quality of life is kinda high. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Because we're so happy and in living the fantasy that we've always dreamed of for so long, and we're living it. And, we look at everything with rose colored glasses, and, there's no way that any of this could go wrong. Um,
Exactly, and once again, we just ignore the signs. I believe in every relationship that ends up like this, there are signs that were purposely being ignored, unfortunately, because of
right.
what positive sometimes we call the money, the positive parts of
Hmm.
things. Um, and here's what's even worse. Why am I as I'm going through these pictures, Jonathan, I'm seeing that they had to do a GoFundMe to get
What?
uh I guess to get her back home.
Oh, okay. I think okay. Yeah.
And he's
Wow.
perfectly alive and a multimillionaire, but he can't assist in getting his uh fiance back to because they said that they got engaged and everything. It said that Ashlee Jenae's GoFundMe raises more than $38,000 as fiance Joe McCann comes under scrutiny.
Yikes.
So
Yikes.
it kind of shows another level, maybe. Like it just
Hmm.
shows that he doesn't care. Somebody that cares would have been putting up the money, especially us knowing that he has the money. He would have
Right.
been putting up the money to make sure that she got back home,
Exactly. Pay for all the
especially
funeral expenses.
and that's another thing that's like really kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
You see who people are through their actions, and those actions tell me he don't care for her, or maybe he might have thought she was cheating or something like that, and might have went overboard and
Yeah.
did some horrible things to her. There's so many answers that could come from this,
Right.
but I don't believe that any of this come turns into a offing of herself.
Right. And
I
and
don't
as
believe
I stated
any of that.
and as I stated before, like black women typically don't take their own lives. Like
Well, we
it
we can't say that because, you gotta remember with media, Jonathan,
mm,
what what media outlet is going to highlight a woman of color taking their life.
that's very true. That's very true. You're
So
right
that's
about
why we
that.
can't really lean in on that,
Yeah.
because there's, the women that take their lives because we are supposed to be seen as the strong ones.
Right.
And it's like, let me show you how strong I am and off it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I get
yeah.
that.
That's not
I get
funny.
it.
That's not funny, Jonathan.
The way you said it.
Okay, yeah. It's bad.
Um,
Tyrone says, "Hey y'all, don't forget to hit all the buttons. Like, share, and subscribe buttons, please." He also says, Jojo Speaks, my eyebrow said, follow the money trail.
mhm.
For all we know, like he could have found out something, not saying that she's a bad woman. Nobody deserves going to glory. But
Right.
what if, he found out she was taking money or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something, not saying that it would justify anything, but, for all we know, we don't know. Dustin is here.
Hey, Justin.
Miss Kim is here. She says, "Hey J and J, I'm on my flight home. I'll hang out as long as the in-flight Wi-Fi treats me right." Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Miss Kim. Thank you so much, and I pray that you have a safe flight home. Because she's in Houston, right?
She said she's yeah, she was in Houston.
Okay, okay. Big news here. Aja Wilson, playing for the WNBA, has signed the largest deal in WNBA history. 3 years, $5 million contract with the Las Vegas
What?
Aces. A lot of people have been talking about, the price tag going up for women's sports, and it's been known that WNBA doesn't pay nearly as much as the NBA does. Um, but it's so great to see that these women's worth are being seen at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's good that we've seen a woman who is so great at what she does, and she's such a great player, that she's getting what she's worth. I'm ecstatic, and I'm excited to see what the other deals are going to look like. I don't know how they come about these numbers or anything of that nature. I'm assuming when you're the best, you get paid the best, but that may not always be true. But I'm so happy for Miss Aja Wilson, doing her thing, and getting her money, because a lot of times these WNBA players get more money out of their endorsements than they do their actual deals that they get for playing. So shout out to Aja Wilson. Big money, big money, big money. Jennifer,
Yeah,
did
and
you hear
I,
about this?
I personally believe it's due to I think people are seeing more of how great the WNBA is.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know if you remember, but last year during their you know how they have the All-Star weekend for the WNBA?
Yeah.
It was very eventful,
Mm.
very fun. I was tuned in for all of it.
Yes.
And I think people are really starting to see the value that the WNBA has. Like, are you familiar with Ellie the Elephant?
I am not. No.
Ellie the Elephant is one of the most popular mascots for the WNBA. I know
Okay.
of her. I know she's somewhere in New York. I think it's the child. I don't know what I say what company, what team, but that just tells you that they're really getting out there and letting themselves be seen. And I heard one podcaster today on TikTok say, a dude says, about a WNBA player. Well, can they do layups like LeBron do to get paid like LeBron? Like that. Asking those questions. And somebody said, "Well, can she do it better than me?" Like, yeah, she can.
Yeah, she
She can
can
play
for
better than
sure.
you.
Okay, she'll break my ankles for sure. For sure.
Okay. So I believe women's basketball is on its way to being seen. And I think I want to thank, like rivalries like the one with what's that? Oh gosh, that girl that just got into the WNBA and she was playing for not just like 2 years ago, she got in WNBA.
Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, Caitlin and the other African American young lady, people were pitting them against each other, but it was just, you know,
Yeah, I remember that.
I
Yeah,
could see her face, and she's a brand too.
she
Oh
is
my
for
gosh.
sure. Absolutely.
Um, but she has her own shoe. Yeah. They're getting bigger and bigger out there in these streets, and I'm very excited um for the WNBA, man. They're getting what they deserve.
Absolutely. So Miss Britney Spears, she was received another
Angel
DUI.
Reese. I'm sorry.
Angel Reese. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that was her. I should have thought of her name too. So Miss Britney Spears, she had a DUI. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It wasn't her first at all. So Britney
And
Spears
I'm
has
so
checked.
sorry. Angel Reese, she got traded to Atlanta. She's gonna be playing in Atlanta now.
Oh, you can go see her. You can go see her. I don't even know what the Atlanta women's team's name is, to be
What
honest.
is it? I think it's Dream.
The Atlanta Dream. That sounds right. That does sound right. That does sound right.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop interrupting you.
It's okay. It's totally fine. So Britney Spears, she's checked into rehab for substance abuse after her DUI arrest. Listen, Miss Britney Spears, I live for you, girl. You have some of the best bops of the 2000s. Even the 2010s. Work Bitch is still yet and still my jam. Um, people were getting worried about Britney when she was, twirling around with the weapons in her hands and in her underwear, and it seemed like she wasn't in her right mind. And I don't know if she's using alcohol to sustain herself, whatever the case might be. But I just want my girl Britney Spears to get better, and I want her, because it's almost like she doesn't realize who she. I feel as though she doesn't realize who she is, or maybe she doesn't appreciate the legendary status that she holds even still now, because she's been that girl since 2000. So yeah, she's lost her way along the way, but I just don't want to see her either take her own life or take someone else's life because she decided to get behind the wheel after drinking. So just a PSA to Miss Britney Spears, please get better. And just look in the mirror and say, I'm Britney Spears. It's Britney, bitch. Okay, she's everything. So that's all I want to say about that. I just hope she gets better. Jennifer, did you hear about Britney Spears checking into rehab?
I just want Britney. I don't care. I don't care what's going on. I just want her to be able to live her life.
Right.
Her being on drugs has plenty more to do with her mental status. I believe she needs to be in intensive therapy for what was done to her. I don't blame
Hmm.
her for any of it. That's why it doesn't make me sad that she's on drugs, because it's like I get why. She's trying
Yeah.
to escape, man. She's
She's
trying
been
to
through so
escape,
much,
and she's been crying out for help for a very long time.
for sure.
And I just feel for her and anybody else that has been traumatized and has been self-soothing for a long time. So
Yeah,
I feel for her. I feel for her.
I do.
Um, let's see. Oh, she was in Dallas.
Oh, in Dallas. Okay, okay. Cool
At
beans,
least we
Miss
had
Kim.
Texas part right.
Yeah, at least I didn't say LA.
Unveiled Vibration says, "Hey to Dustin and hey to Miss Kim. Happy Thursday." And Miss Kim says, Jonathan and I are so clueless about sports. Ellie the elephant. Who is that? I'll
Right.
make sure to
I,
pull it up.
I sure as hell don't know.
That's Ellie the elephant. She's been on everywhere.
Oh, okay.
She's with the New York Liberty
Gotcha.
with that team, and she does a lot of dancing. She always has a nice long braid, and she also had many different dances called the Ellie Stomp. You know what I'm saying? Because she's an elephant.
Oh,
Um,
LE the elephant. I thought you were
Ellie,
saying LA the elephant. I was like, oh, must be the mascot for Los Angeles. Okay. LE the
yeah,
elephant.
Ellie, Ellie.
Gotcha.
She's always wearing a bag.
Oh,
She got
okay.
the Telfar. Look,
I'm
look, she got this big old bag here.
I'm telling you,
Y'all,
that ponytail is giving me real Banji tease.
and that's literally what she's doing. Look at this. Look at this. I think this was during the Renaissance time,
Oh, had the hair.
doing
Yes.
the Beyonce stuff. Like
Okay.
she look at this. She's even been to the New York Fashion Week.
What? Wow.
Freaking Ellie the Elephant has been to New York Fashion Week. Look at her earrings
They
with
right
shades.
there.
Them shades had to be custom.
Of course, to make them big enough to fit her face.
Child, yeah. So Ellie is pretty much everywhere. Ellie even got her own shoe.
Wow. Ellie is that
So
girl.
yeah, Ellie the Elephant is like the most popular WNBA thing. Look at this. Look at this, Jonathan. Look at this. Ew, 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 ew.
Oh, I think that's a black person behind
Yeah,
that
I think
mascot.
they say this is her. Hold on. This lady right here.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
say this is her. And look, still another sickening bag. Anyway, let me stop.
Sickening. Yes.
That's Ellie the
Um,
Elephant.
So, big announcement came forth this past week. Chris Brown and Usher are going on an R&B tour. let me tell you, I would be very, very, very interested in seeing it. I've seen Chris Brown live once. I've never seen Usher live. But Chris Brown's energy on the stage is relentless. Like he don't stop at all.
Oh,
I
he
don't
don't.
know if I don't know if I necessarily be excited to see Usher per se on stage. I'd be excited to hear his jams, hear my favorite songs. Like Caught Up, and he probably wouldn't perform that song, but You Make Me Wanna, My Way, like maybe the old school jams. Maybe even sing that song he did with Summer Walker. I love that song. I love that song.
Oh, that come through.
Yes, yes, that's what got me into like even though her first song, girls need love. Even though I love that song as well, but that song she did with Usher made me look at her a different way. Like, okay, you got this girl. But yeah, tour dates have not been announced just yet. But I
They
would
have.
assume. Oh, they have. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to look those up to see if they're coming, if and when they're coming close to me. Because I would definitely want to go see that show. And I can't imagine the other artists that would be a part of that tour. I'm sure if there are any other artists being a part of that tour, I think that would be a very lucrative tour for both of them. For sure.
Incredibly. I
Yeah,
had to
which
tell I had to tell Tyrone is like it's gonna be a huge tour
it is
because if you ain't paying attention, you don't know that Chris Brown's tours sell out and he's
all
doing
the time,
stadiums.
everywhere. Yeah.
He did a few nights at the Yankee Stadium, not Yankee, Jennifer, come on now. The Brave Stadium out here in Atlanta. He did a few nights.
He sure did. Yeah, I think we were actually out in Atlanta while it was going
I
on.
think
I
so.
believe.
I think
Yeah,
so. It was
yeah,
it was a major situation with the Breezy Bowl.
yes,
Imma
yes.
have to tell him to look that up. But yeah, it was a major situation, and for him to come together with Usher, that should be an arena, not arena, that should be a stadium tour.
I agree with that as well because
That
they
should
can
be
do it.
stadium.
I mean, the two of the biggest male artists in R&B of all time. Like, come on.
And the reason what makes it so big, the people that really buy music is really or buy tickets are people that's really like millennials and stuff
Yeah, and
because
they're
we're
like
used to
swimwear.
buying stuff. So I think it's going to be great. Now I have heard a lot of negative things about it. People, I think it's just popular to be negative about it.
It always is.
I'm going to say something derogatory, Jonathan,
Uh-oh. Let me
but
put
I
my
heard
seatbelt
some.
on.
Oh, thank you. I want you to be protected. I heard somebody say they should call it the Bumps and Bruises tour. Bumps with
I can't
alleged,
roll my
weapons.
eyes enough on
Yeah.
that. Like, ugh.
And it's like, here's the thing. I bet you the person that made it up is still going to that concert.
I'm sure they are.
And
Probably
that's
got a
what
front
kind
row
of
ticket.
bothers me. It's like, why do we always have to try to find the most negative thing? Like we haven't heard anything recent outside of a fight that he had in the UK, Chris.
Right.
And it's like, I don't even know why we're upset about that. If nobody's upset about that.
Well, I feel like I know why they do the negative comments is because those are what gets the most attention. I follow a couple of people on Instagram and they talk about their haters all the time. But and to me, like it's hard for me to understand why they feel like they have to address haters all the time. Because but when I see negative comments, those are the ones that stick out to you most. And that's the most unfortunate thing about it. Like, yeah, you see all these good comments, yeah, 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 yeah. Then you
They're
see a
still gonna
negative
be at that
comment.
show.
Well, of course, they are still going to be on that show, but that could just never be me. That could just never be me to be negative just for negative sake. Like if I have something constructive to say, I'll share those constructive remarks with someone if I'm following them or whatever the case might be. But just to be negative, like oh, you shouldn't be wearing that, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, oh, you shouldn't be showing that off, or whatever the case might be.
Child.
Like it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And a lot of times that comes with jealousy as well. because they're doing something that you feel like you can't do, or they're doing something better than you could ever do. That there's no way of getting around that. So on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia Williams, before I say that, in the first episode, she introduced the girls to her boyfriend. Now, I don't know how, I can't remember how she introduced him, but she made it seem as though that was her man. His name was Mike. He was on Love is Blind, not Love is Blind, Ready for Love, I
Ready
think
for
it
Love.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ready for Love. But then on the second episode, the most recent episode, she introduced the girls to Sway McKinney, which is a female. So Portia was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne was asking her, "What do you think of people who are questioning your sexuality and are saying that you're bisexual or you're a lesbian or whatever the case might be?" And Portia said, "I don't like to put labels on myself. I'm just Portia. I like what I like, and it is what it is." And I think that goes back to us always wanting to put people in categories. So it's easier for us to swallow whatever it is that they're giving to us. It's easier for us to see them as we want to see them, I guess. But for me, it's like, it really doesn't matter what she is. I guess maybe it's because, she's a female and I wouldn't give a darn who she's sleeping with. I mean, it really don't matter to me who anyone is sleeping with, to be honest. But like, I don't know why it's any of our business. Yes, she is sharing her life with us on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So of course, we as viewers are going to be pretty nosy and going to be like, "Oh well, if she's dating a man and a woman, I guess that must make her bisexual." But sexuality is a spectrum, so you really can't pinpoint what anyone is. Yes, we have names to identify what our sexuality is, but at the end of the day, like, it's still a spectrum. So you could be a little bit more on the heterosexual, a little bit closer to the bisexual, a little bit way over to the homosexual. Like, it's a spectrum here, guys. So for me, seeing Portia and Portia introduce them to a man and a woman, to me, I don't want to put any label on it whatsoever, because for all we know, she could be a heterosexual woman who just like to have fun with women. Who knows? But it don't matter. It don't matter. And I don't know. Now, it would seem like from the pictures that we've seen that Portia might be getting serious with this Sway woman. I don't know what the case might be. I don't know if she's also doing this just to have a brave face for the show, for the likes of the show. I don't know exactly how long she's going to be with this woman. I don't know what her intentions are with this woman whatsoever. But if she's happy, so be it. It don't make me no never mind. I really don't care. But Jennifer, what are your thoughts on people demanding for Portia to label herself now that she's in, because she did say she's actually, this is the first woman she's had a relationship with.
I don't care.
I know.
I feel like these people are asking questions as if what she's demonstrating to us is her reality.
Right.
I don't believe it. And even if she actually is having hot sexual relations with that woman, I still don't take it seriously.
Right.
And even if it comes to marriage, I believe a lot of these women take lightly what a lot of people take seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they'll do whatever to remain relevant. And I personally believe this is just a part of the many things that some people will do to remain relevant. I'm gonna do something new. Let me get with a lady.
Right. It's like, but when it's not our lives, it's so much easier not to care. It's so much easier.
It's not even that though. It's like I think people just want something to say.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have anything going in their lives, so they want to get something going over with hers, or try to make something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's pointless in my opinion. Why would you put so much weight on that? Because once again, I don't believe that she's truly trying to entertain a relationship with her.
Yeah, I don't believe
Now,
that.
I believe the lesbian relationship with Mimi, like Mimi Faust.
Mhm.
When out of nowhere, it seemed like she, had a relationship with a lady, but I don't know, from all the interviews that I've seen with Mimi and all that stuff, I kind of feel like realness come for her from her. I
And
never
Jocelyn did reveal that Mimi was involved in a
and
threesome with
Mimi
her
is
and
and
Stevie
Mimi
J.
sat down like that, like, "Mhm,"
Mm. And she said she does a good job.
and it was good.
It was good.
Okay, so it's like, I guess if we've had some moments like that
Mhm.
with Portia, I'd believe it more, but I still feel like it's pointless to try to put a label on things. Well, so what are you? Because it's not like these women are trying to F her. So, like, why do you
Exactly.
care?
They're just being nosy.
It's not even about being nosy. Why does she have to define herself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do
It's
you
un
have to say what you are? Were you disappointed that you couldn't get to Portia first?
Right, because what were the chances?
Even if that was the case, excuse even if that was the case, what are the chances? But we know that's not the case. So why do you care?
Exactly. Right. But that's the world we live in. That is the
God,
world
I
we
guess.
live in. Speaking of Housewives of Atlanta, Miss Drew Sidora. Miss Drew Sidora has been ordered to vacate the home that she shares with Ralph. And she responded by saying, "Well, if I get kicked out, then me and my eldest son will be homeless." Because she has, I believe, two children with Ralph and one older son that she was begging Ralph to adopt that one season of Housewives of Atlanta. He never ended up doing it. I'm not surprised that he did, and he's probably
Because he
glad
knew
that
what
he
he was
didn't.
gonna do.
Exactly. Drew claims that she only makes $12,066 a month, whereas Ralph is reported to earn 71,524 a month. I don't know how the decision was made that he would be able to stay in the house while she would get kicked out, but I can't say that I'm surprised at
Is
all.
she getting any alimony?
I don't I haven't heard of any alimony, and I don't even know if they're because Drew said that her divorce was finalized, but I don't know how it could be finalized when these orders are still being carried out after the divorce has been finalized. Like
May maybe her not being in the house was a part of the divorce and they're just now enforcing it.
That could be it. That could be it. But me personally, I I don't feel for Drew. To be honest, the only reason why I wanted to see Drew on the show was to look at Ralph. To be truthfully honest, but it is what it is. This is clearly not going to
Maybe
be
she
part.
was gathering ducats. No,
Maybe
she
she.
wasn't gathering ducats because if she would have already had her replaced by the time the whole divorce. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. So, but she's still an actress. She's still doing, Tubi movies to, make her coin or whatever the case might be. So, I hope she figures it out though. And that Bravo check has to be pretty good because she's been on there for at least 6 or 7 seasons now, I believe. She's been on there for quite a while. So I mean, I hope she can find a way to make it through. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you heard this story?
I don't have any. I gave
Okay,
all mine during the thought process of your coming out.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So famous comedian, well, not a, I don't know how famous he is, but a comedian that I actually follow on Instagram, Darren Fleet. He's got the Baltimore accent. He's always talking about pop culture things, and so he was on an interview during a podcast, and he opened up about his bisexuality, saying that although seems when you watch his videos, when I watch his videos, I automatically just assume that he was gay. But he states that he's been with women before, and so during this interview, he said that he is a Christian. He does believe in God. He's done his things with men. He's done his things with women. But when it comes to marriage, he don't play about God. And when it comes to marriage, he says that he is going to marry a woman. Now, here's my thing. If he is truly bisexual, that doesn't look like him on the right. If he is truly bisexual, then that would be okay. You know what I'm saying? If he's falls in love with a woman, that's him right there. If he falls in, that looks like a gay man, y'all. But anyways, if he were to fall in love with a woman and he's he's romantically interested in her and he wants to share his life with her, then that's fine. However, on the other side of the coin, if he is actually a homosexual man with no romantic interest in women, and he's forcing himself to marry a woman because he feels as though that's the only way that God is going to accept his life and his life choices, I would argue against that. When I first came out to Jennifer, I think I was 18, maybe 17 years old. I shared with her that I was bisexual, and I told her that I still want to marry a woman, and this is a plan that I made up for myself growing up because I felt like that would be the best way to live my life, just to have a woman. She would be okay with, the fact that I am attracted to men and, we can, work something out. But now that I'm a 36-year-old grown man, I know for a fact that that would never be the case for me whatsoever. But what about those of us who are homosexual, who don't have any interest whatsoever in women? What are we to do? Like, what are we to do? I'll answer my own questions. We are to live our lives the way God planned for us to live it, and that is to live our truth. I'm not saying that Mr. Darren Fleet is not living his truth. I'm just speaking on my observations. And my observations is it seems as though he's a little bit more closer to the homosexual side than he is the bisexual side. I don't know for sure. Who am I to say what his actual sexuality is? Because at the end of the day, it's none of my business. But if you don't find yourself having a physical attraction to the opposite sex, don't even try to force yourself to go into that arena, to go into that atmosphere, because it's probably not going to work out the way that you are intending it to work out. Once again, if he is bisexual, as he said, and he's able to marry a woman, have a healthy, a great relationship with her, so be it. But that don't work for all of us. It's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for a lot of my homosexual brothers and sisters out there. But that kind of made some waves because just like me, a lot of people are just assuming that Darren Fleet is a gay man, but he says he's a bisexual man. So I guess the things that he said, could reign true for him if his truth is embedded in that. Jennifer, any thoughts on this particular topic in general? Those who try to mask their true sexuality to cater to those on the outside to make the outside people feel better about their life.
Well, excuse me. I'm sorry. We're thinking on the same wavelength. My heart is that people live their life. Um, Unfortunately, for some people, it's not easy to live it out loud.
Right.
Especially with our upbringing and where we're from and things of that nature. Is kind of ingrained in some of us that we can't live the life that we want to live. We have to appease the people that are around us, unfortunately. But
Hmm.
who's to say that's his thing? I don't know. I haven't seen him with a man or a woman personally, so
Yeah,
it's like, live your life, sir. But the simple f I don't know if putting that out there is the best thing to do, especially if you don't have your relationships out and about. Does that make sense?
it does for
It's
sure.
like, why.
When we don't see evidence of any relationship, it makes it harder for us to believe anything that comes out of your mouth concerning a relationship.
Yes, it's like,
Mhm.
well, I believe it when I see it, makes me think about
Right.
that one, Messy C, I'm here for the mess. Um, we saw him one day engaged and married to a man, then the next no, 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 to a woman, and then the next marrying a man, and it felt like that happened within, like, the same month or 2.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, here's what I feel about women.
Hmm. Talk about it.
Why do we have to be so freaking desperate sometimes?
Mm, mm, mm.
Just take any Tom, Dick, and Harry off the streets.
Right.
Now, I understand a lavender marriage. Do you know what that is, Jonathan?
Absolutely. It is a woman who marries a gay man. At least that's what I've heard it to be.
Yeah, and, you know, let them live their life. I understand that, but there are certainly women that feel like they can change a gay man.
For sure. For
And this
sure.
and these are the moments where I say, "Well, you want a man that's not sexually attracted to you? You know he's gay, so why would you want
Right.
to be with somebody that's not you know is not sexually attracted to you? That's deplorable. That's
It is.
demeaning." You know what I'm saying? I want to be desired in my
Right.
way. Why
Eh, Neither one of you are getting anything out of that relationship.
No, he's getting plenty out of it. It's just not in the marital house.
We've not with her. Yeah, exactly.
Not with her. Ah! And I hope she's doing her thing too, but there's a lot of dumb girls that will just stay there and be loyal.
But like, if you have to step outside of your marriage to be happy, what's the point of you actually being married with the person that you're married to? Like, so
Some
that don't make
people
no sense to me.
some people say the sacrifice justifies the means. It's like, you know, people just want to look like they have this look or facade that they have their life together, whatever that means these days.
That definitely ain't the case. It ain't the case whatsoever. Jennifer, any comments before we get on out of here?
Ramirez here.
Hey, my dear, so glad that you're here, boo.
She said, "Hey, pals, I'm so excited I'm catching the JoJo live.
I'm excited that you caught it, girl.
Hope everyone had a great day."
Definitely, for sure. I ordered me some Marco's pizza, had it delivered today, so I will be enjoying more of that after the show goes off the
Wait,
air.
what you got today?
Marco's pizza. Got me a small pepperoni pizza. I got me a order of cheesy bread. Oh
You
yes.
know, one pizza place that I used to go to, I thought it was Marco's, but I realized it was Hungry Howie's.
Never heard of it.
Have you ever heard of that?
I
I
never
hope
heard of
I'm
that.
saying that right. Hungry Howie's. But they had really good pizza, you know, just, you know, to get a small one,
Okay.
and they had really tasty crust.
And Marco's is extremely reasonably priced. Like the some of the best prices for pizza, at least in my opinion. And the fact that they have a small, a medium, a large, and an extra large, like I typically only need a small or a medium. And to be honest, the small and medium are practically the same size, but it is what it is. That's why I always end up getting the small anyways.
And yeah, it is Hungry Howie's. I don't know how I started going there, but I've gone there plenty of times for just, you know, a small pizza for myself and some
Okay.
breasts. Um, I also want to announce that Panera Bread has Italian bread stuffed salad. Wait, salad. Okay, you know how Italian bread is like, you know, a cone?
Yes, yes, I do.
They take the bread out, they put a salad in there. They got that right now. And I'm like, I don't ever be checking for Panera Bread, but dag nabbit, think that might bring me into the doors.
I used to like their chicken salad sandwich, that just so happened to have like almonds or some type of nuts in them. But I just sucked it up and ate the nuts because the chicken salad sandwich was so good. But to be honest, Panera's is just not my thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So would you please share your social media contacts with the good folks watching Genesita?
No, thank you. Hold on. I'm over here looking up Hungry Howard.
We gotta
Sorry.
find it.
My
Oh.
name is Prophetic Fire Reiki. Won't you join me every single Monday at 8 p.m.? Oh, excuse me. So sorry. Sorry, Jonathan. Prophetic Fire Reiki. I'm here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going live. And what else? Oh, um, oh, follow my TikTok and Instagram. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
It's okay. It's totally fine, girl. We both tired. You can make sure you join us every Saturday morning at 10-ish a.m. for Faithful Warrior Ministries, devotion, chit chat, and prayer. We go live every Saturday morning at 10-ish
Devotion,
a.m.
chit
to
chat, and
read
prayer.
Okay, to read a devotional, chit chat a little bit, and of course pray. So if you're interested in joining us, please do look us up on YouTube. Just type in Faithful Warrior Ministries. We should be the first icon to pop up. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the channel as well, and join us on at 10ish a.m. every single Saturday. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is jojo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Jonathan Lee 07. That's $JONATHANLEE07. If you'd like to donate to my channel. Love you guys for watching. Be sure to check out my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta that I released this past Tuesday. Make sure you like and comment on that video as well. Be sure to join me every Monday night at 6 p.m. for my live 90 Day Fiance review with Dustin Butler. We always have a great time on Monday nights talking about the show. This past Monday was my favorite because we had 5 people in the comments. It was popping. Even Aaron said the comments section was popping, or Robin, one or the other. But join me every Monday night at 6 p.m. for my 90 Day Fiance review.
Mamere says the best way to start the weekend is Faithful Warrior Ministries Saturday Morning Live.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for that promo, Mamere. We appreciate it. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Stay cool or warm or whatever the weather is. Stay comfortable out there, y'all. I love you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.
Bye.